The Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service actually started with the then Nigerian Plant Quarantine Service. It came as a result of what the country suffered within a decade before the independence, especially with the introduction of a serious pest of cocoa and maize that actually devastated the crops at that time. For cocoa, the cocoa industry almost collapsed. Plantation has to be destroyed, and resistant varieties has to be given to the farmer. It actually cost the government a colossal amount. For maize, in fact, involves concerted efforts of several West African countries coming together to revive maize production in the region. Looking at Africa in general, I will also say there has been a lot of improvement. The Inter-African Phytosanitary Council has been playing a tremendous role in harmonizing phytosanitary regulation within the continent, training of phytosanitary inspectors, coming up with pest lists to actually guide the nationals. I would say one of the challenges Nigeria is facing at the moment concerning its quarantine system is having a strong political will. Government many a times don't really appreciate the role the quarantine plays, especially when you are talking of food security. A lot of their focus is how can we improve production. The attention that is placed towards plant protection is not as much as that plays on crop production itself. And whatever be the program for your crop improvement, the moment you allow any new pest to come in, actually is going to destroy the potential of what you have and what you are trying to improve upon. So that understanding, I will not say, is not really appreciated at the moment, and that has resulted probably in inadequate funding. You also have the problem of the public not being sufficiently sensitized about what quarantine stands for. Having voluntary compliance as to the regulation may be a bit difficult. Not only for Nigeria, most African countries, we don't have emergency fund that can immediately tackle this problem, that is allowing us to contain it a bit before it becomes widespread into the country. Recently too, you also have introduction of fruit fly, Bacteria invadants, that is fast devastating our fruits in the country. There is need to have what we call even a regional approach to the control measure, because the insects involved is a strong flyer, and especially in West African countries, we also have been faced with challenge of threats of new pests. On cassava, you have cassava mosaic virus, Uganda strain, which is ravaging crops in East Africa. You also have the problem of cassava brown streak virus, which is also very serious. It is not something that farmers can easily identify from the foliage. It actually affects the tuber. You also have the problem of banana too, banana bunchy top, banana bacterial wilt. And with pests, they have this habit of moving from east westwards. And we are on the western side, we really have to be careful, putting the necessary precautionary measures in place, that we don't end up also suffering from this pest. Yes, for Bacterial invaders, quarantine held a workshop last year where the major stakeholders were invited. FAO is coming up with plans for regional control measure for us to harmonize control measures, and scientists are also carrying out research for various control options for the cassava streak brown streak virus. Government has been informed, and necessary machinery will be put in place to make sure that germplasm materials are not sought for from a neighboring country. So sensitization program is being planned to train quarantine officers, because there is need for them that they too become better informed. Necessary tools will be put in place to make sure that we improve inspection, diagnostics, and necessary regulation to ensure that planting materials are not allowed from those endemic areas. When new pest comes in like that, the impact for the first few years is not so glaring. Unlike when it comes to animals, as to actually catch the attention of the government. So maybe that may be the reason for their slow response. It's like, oh, you are talking about fruit fly. Oh, but mangoes is still on the street. Oh, we still have oranges that we are. So until the damage is so aggravated that the farmers will start shouting all over the place, not until then does it catch a government attention. Yes, it is a good strategy. Yeah. As much as possible, everybody wants to de-emphasize on the use of pesticides because of chemical residue. And there are a lot of emphasis now on food safety. And of course, you also have the concern of biodiversity. The emphasis now is more on integrated approach. If as much as possible you can eliminate the use of pesticides, it's good. We have a very good and strong linkage with IITA. IITA, it's a major stakeholder when it comes to germplasm exchange. IITA has been playing a very good role in assisting us train officers to upgrade their skill, especially in the areas of pest diagnosis, times when maybe we are handicapped by inadequate facility. And they have also been good to us in the area of information dissemination, even at times assisting us in attendance of international workshops and seminars. IITA has been very relevant to our effectiveness in the country.